I got my Xbox 2 years ago, and that came with 2 years of Game Pass. So my Game Pass sub was running out and I had about 2 weeks left on it. So I was thinking, what game can I finish in 2 weeks? Because I don't want to renew it again just yet. You know, I've got Christmas coming and everything. I'm going to wait till the new year. And I started Persona 5 on Game Pass because that's recently come to it. But there is no way in hell I am going to finish Persona 5 in 2 weeks. No way. Not with the bloody adult commitments that I have. And even if I didn't have those, it wouldn't be done. So I just outright bought Persona so I can play it in the new year before I resub again. Anyway, so I came across this game called Beacon Pines. I thought, wow, this looks like a fun point and click adventure. And I went on How Long to Beat and saw that it was about 5 to 6 hours long. I was like, perfect. I thought this is the perfect game to have on Game Pass for its inviting length and cute aesthetic. So that is what I played, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, so here's my little review for you. Before we get into this cutesy indie mystery, if you're new here, I post reviews and in-depth videos on a variety of games. So if that's something you're interested in, then please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so you don't miss out on those. Let's get into the story. As you can probably guess, this story takes place in a town called Beacon Pines. It's a small town that's preparing for a harvest festival. Their crops haven't been doing too well for the past few years, ever since an event that they call the Foul Harvest. And Luca, the main character, believes it might have something to do with the special fertilizer that they've been using from this new fertilizer company that's moved into town. You see, Luca's dad died a few years before our story takes place in an accident at the fertilizer plant, and his mother suspiciously disappeared around the same time. So now he lives with his gran. And his gran is about as shady as that gran that you see in those adverts for that mobile phone game where she's, like, I don't know, burying shit in the garden or whatever. In fact, all the adults in this game are really shady. There's a mystery in this town and it has something to do with that fertilizer plant. I love a good mystery. If you also like a mystery, then you might enjoy my recent review of Pentiment, a medieval murder mystery by Obsidian, and I'll leave that just up here for you. The story of Beacon Pines has really great pace, and that is helped moved along by the charming interactions between the main characters. It's like a mystery game to these kids, but there are some serious happenings in this town. And the setup for this is kind of cliche at this point, you know, of kids coming together, treating things like a game, but they're actually solving this massive mystery of their town, a la Stranger Things. But it still makes for a fun experience. And what's also great is the tense moments in this story are actually quite tense. Like, you don't really want to get caught when you're snooping around. The story of this game is strong, right from the beginning, all the way through to the end. And the payoff is everything that you hope for. Everything I hoped for, at least. This is one of the most beautiful games I have played this year. Every scene looks like a painting. Now, I know that that's because they go for the visuals of this is in a book and it's a story that's being told to you, because some of the narration is done through someone narrating a book. So it's supposed to be like images in a book, like you would see in, say, like old Winnie the Pooh books, where, you know, they're not kind of aligned with the edges. It's just like a picture in the middle of the book, kind of like fades into the page. And despite the environments being like a painting, they're not completely static either. There's a moment in one of the characters' bedrooms, a character named Beck, where you see in the background their curtains are just blistering in the wind. So there is life in these scenes. It's not just your character moving around, just this static image. And each area looks like its own painting that's just suspended in a void. Like I said, it's like these paintings are from a book. And what it really reminds me of, there's an MMO that I used to play called Doofus. I never knew which one that was or how to pronounce it, but I'll throw an image up. This is what it looked like. And I have no idea why, but this just reminds me of that. Like, each area in there seemed like it was suspended in a void. Most of the animation for this game is done through all the speech bubbles when the characters talk, and then your character walking around. The animations are cute, I'll give them that, but damn do I wish you walked faster. But the animation is very nice. It keeps life in the game. Like I said, there's nothing static or boring about this game, even though all of the interactions is through speaking. And when the characters are talking, they have character portraits, you know, like you would see in most, say, visual novels or like RPGs or something when the character portrait would pop up. A lot of these character portraits were throwing me serious furry art vibes. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm on the internet too much, and I'm sure that probably says more about me than the game, but yeah, I was getting serious furry vibes from some of the characters' portraits when they were talking. So let's talk about the gameplay. This is a small point-and-click adventure game. So, like most games of this type, gameplay is going to be quite minimalistic. There's not going to be a whole lot of buttons that you need to press. Left stick lets you walk around, and yeah, the walking animations are cute, but God, do I wish that your character walked faster. I really do wish your character walked faster, especially indoors. Or give us a run button. That would be nice. I'm getting off topic. Anyway, left stick makes your character move around, as usual. So pressing A will move through dialogue, and this is mostly dialogue, this game, though it's not massively dialogue heavy like Pentiment was, where they're just throwing walls of text at you, but it's just short burst conversations between different characters, you and other characters. And pressing A will interact with everything around you and different objects, like continuously smashing A will make you punch this giant watermelon. Now pressing B will bring up your bag, and in here this is where you will have your to-do list, I guess. It tells you the next objective of what you need to do, like go and meet Rolo in the treehouse or something like that. But also, moving across one, it will show you all of the charms that you've collected. Now, charms are interesting. They are words that you collect through talking to people or exploring the environment around you. And what they're used for is choices. So at many points in this game, you'll be presented with a choice of a word to use to branch off into a different direction of the story. That's where the charms come in. You can use different charms for different things to see the outcome. And this is what I love about the story structure of Beacon Pines, because you can branch off in one direction and then go and get an ending. It's not always the ending, but you get an ending. And then once you go back, which you can go back at any time by pressing Y, will bring up the tree and show you all the branches that you can go down. You press Y, you can bring up the tree, and you can do this at any moment. You don't have to wait until you get to an ending. You can do this at any moment throughout the game to go back and choose a different charm. Once you have seen one branch play out, or a choice play out, I should say, it's then ticked. You've seen what that charm presents you with. So you can choose the other charm and go down the other route. And I love the way that this has been set up like this, using these charms, these words that you collect to go off in different directions. It makes the choices so much more interesting. Because most times when you're given a choice to do something, you're just given a choice. Where in this game, you need to discover the choices beforehand. But you don't even know what the choice is going to be that you need to use the charm for. It's just a choice pops up and it's like, oh, I've got these charms that I can use for this specific choice. It's great. I love the fact that it's just more involved than saying, these are the choices you got, which ones are going to be. And then 9 times out of 10, it doesn't even fucking matter what you choose. Whereas these do, because you do get multiple endings to this game. There is one true ending, which lets the credits roll, but you get endings throughout the game. Usually you get to an ending and then it says, no, that's not how it's supposed to end. And then it throws up the tree and you got to go back and choose the correct charm, essentially. Or find a branch somewhere for you to experiment to see the outcome. What's also fantastic about this is because you can start going down a tree. In the end, that will take you to the ending. Like through a series of branches, this part will take you to an ending. However, a charm that you would need later on in this branch is actually off in this branch. So the story is told kind of non-linearly. It's told in a non-linear way. See, that's why it's good to explore you have to explore all these different branches and fail, essentially, so you can get the correct charms from all these different points in time to use to go through the golden path, let's say. I talk a lot with my hands, flailing them around everywhere. Does this even help you understand trees? And one other thing that charms are used for, there is a simple fishing mini game that takes place in a memory of Lucas when he's with his dad fishing. And if you get all of the correct charms that can be used for this mini game, you get a lovely achievement, which I was really happy about because it was the last achievement I had to get. I had to go back, after finishing the game, I had to go back through one thing and just find a charm that I'd missed. And I got all of the achievements for this game. It's fantastic. It really was. Oh, I love this game. So the game is linear, but not because you have to split off in the different branches to get the charms elsewhere to go down the golden path, which is an amazing way of disguising the fact that it's linear. Audio is always the last thing I talk about, and I know intelligence on audio at all. There's no voice acting in this game, bar one. The only person that actually speaks words is the narrator when they're reading out of the book, or if they're reading kind of like little thoughts within the story while you're going about your day. Everybody else in this game just talks like it's a bit like Animal Crossing, I guess, when they just kind of make weird noises when they talk. Yeah, they're not actually saying words. Which, obviously, being an indie game, excellent way of saving money. Each character has their own noise that they make. It really does make this game a lot more charming, and that's a word I'm using a lot for this game. The music is nice in this game. It's really nice. From what I heard, it seems like piano's the main ingredient in this mixture of music. And all the music does a fantastic job of setting up the scene that you're in. So like, when it is a light-hearted scene, like when they're getting ready for the festival, or when you're on your way to the treehouse, whatever, it's nice and cutesy and uplifting. But then, like I said earlier, the moments in this game that are tense, and the music backs this up. The music plays a heavy part in making those tense moments actually feel tense, like you could lose at this point. I never have much to say on audio. I really enjoyed the music, and the character noises that are all made were fun. It was wonderful. It was much better than if it was just nothing, or if it was just music, or every time someone was talking it just went bloop, bloop, bloop. No, it's actually like meow, 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 meow. Love it. Love, 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 love it. It's a word I've said a few times already in this review, and I'm going to say it now, just for emphasis, because this game is the absolute definition of charming. From the beginning to end, this entire game is just charming. The characters, they're so likable, they're so relatable. You just love spending all of your time with Luca and his friends Rolo and Beck. It's a fun mystery to solve, and it's a mystery that you want to solve, that you want these kids to solve. The game is interesting, and I love the branching structure of the story. Even though it's not multiple endings, there's only one actual ending, but the way that they've disguised the fact that it's linear is just genius, in my opinion. Much like the last few games I've reviewed, another point-and-click adventure game, if you are a fan of those, especially the ones that have a more light-hearted tone and just more cutesy or charming art style, this is absolutely one to play. Honestly, I don't know how many games I may have said this about this year, but this is definitely one of my favourite games of the year. And I'm glad I squeezed it in at the very end of the year before my Game Pass subscription ran out, because I absolutely want a sequel to this game. This game is fantastic. If you are a fan of just short, narrative-driven point and clicks, please play Beacon Pines. You owe it yourself, and the developers deserve it. They need to know that this game is loved, because it's great. It's fantastic. If you enjoyed this video, then you might also enjoy my video of the medieval murder mystery Pentiment, and you can see that right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.